Good evening, Southeast Texas. Good Monday evening. I hope you and your family are doing well. Over the next 15 minutes, we're going to be talking all things Southeast Texas weather over the next 7 days and take an in-depth look at it and also take your questions. So let's get right to it. Distant shower and thunderstorm activity well towards our east. You can see the tops of the cumulonimbus clouds over towards eastern Louisiana on this roofing 911 sky cam over in Lake Charles. Obviously, we're not expecting any rain or thunderstorm activity the next 2 days. We may be able to get through Thursday. However, Friday and Saturday looking like a pretty good chance of rain across the area. Mainly rain, maybe a few thunderstorms mixed into the batch, but thunder showers, rain. Not expecting severe weather out of this as we see a tropical plume of moisture moving out of the Gulf into our area. This is also due to an upper level disturbance, and then that kind of passes us, and then Sunday and Monday it's back to normal with near normal rain chances across Southeast Texas. Otherwise, you'll be seeing a few degrees above normal as far as your afternoon highs coming up as we go through Tuesday and Wednesday. On the Southeast Texas allergy report, we've lost grass pollen since Friday. Weed pollen and mold remain at moderate levels. Our forecast, this is my forecast for tomorrow in the Triangle, looking at highs around 95, no rain expected with a south wind. However, the model says we could see some rain and thunderstorm activity in the morning. We're going to discount that, and it's going 98. I don't think so. So that's the difference as far as the forecast. For up in the lakes, we'll go 97, no rain, light south winds. See what the model says. Yeah, it has isolated activity and highs around 95. Well, I like that 95. It may be closer to 97 up in the lakes, but I don't think we're going to see any rain. Okay. Dry, look at the scale. Dry is brown as you go up. These numbers are what we use as meteorologists to ascertain how much moisture, we put levels on how much moisture is in the atmosphere. When you get up to this level right here, that's a very tropical air mass coming in off the Gulf right in there. Well, let's try it this way. Very tropical air mass over Southeast Texas if we see this right here. And that's 3 inches. That's quite a bit of moisture. It's very tropical. Don't think we're going to see that. But what we are going to see is fairly low amounts of moisture. Today, look how low the moisture was in the atmosphere. Yeah, it's humid on the ground, but you look at the column and you can see the next couple days it doesn't change. So we're not going to go with any rain on Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, as we go on into Thursday and Friday, look at the curve. It looks like Friday, pretty good plume of moisture moving in. Saturday, still a good amount of moisture. As you can see, there it is right there. So we'll go with better chances of rain coming up Friday and Saturday, and then start bringing rain chances down as we work on as we start working into Sunday and Monday. We'll go with about a 30% coverage based on upper level disturbances in addition to this moisture. So right now, okay, there's those thunder showers I was talking about over towards Lake Charles. We were seeing those off to the north and east, and you can see the tops of those cumulonimbus clouds. Otherwise, right now in Southeast Texas, looking quiet, around 90 degrees at the airports, 93 up into the lakes, and we're looking at mostly clear to partly cloudy skies. Nothing on radar locally. We don't really expect anything here over the next day or two. Across the state, look at all the dry air over our area. That has led to mostly sunny skies across our area. Look at the spin off towards our north and west. This is an upper level low pressure system, and it is really having a hard time producing any shower and thunderstorm activity, just mainly clouds. But on the other side, look at the moisture and thunderstorm activity into the panhandles. This is a big upper level low right there. That has moved off towards our west. So basically, we have a trough here and then a ridge of high pressure off like that. So high pressure over us in the upper levels, and that's why we're seeing quiet weather here. So that's the state. And obviously, with the high over us, it's summertime. If you're working outdoors for a living, obviously heat advisory is going to be an issue. This is nothing new. Just keep hydrated. Be smart about the heat. However, if you get over toward the Mississippi River, look at how they go to excessive heat warnings out that way. So that's where it really gets serious out that way. Otherwise, in the tropics, we were talking about this late last week. Invest 94L, we didn't think this was going to be an issue. Look how the thunderstorm activity has just gone. It's because of the sheer dry air. And the Hurricane Center is finally agreeing with that. And again, it's going to be running into more shear over the Caribbean, as you can see. So I don't think we're going to have to worry about that one. Otherwise, Futurecast is going to show a quiet night across southeast Texas. It looks like we should see lows in the mid 70s for lows up in the lakes area, and into the middle to upper 70s and lower 80s in the mid to upper 70s and lower 80s here in the triangle for low temperatures. Otherwise, I think we'll see fair skies. Tomorrow we'll go partly cloudy. Winds are going to be light, and again, it looks mainly dry. Highs mid 90s. Again, that's a few degrees above normal, but not record breaking. So as you can also see, look at all the dry air over our area. This dry air, the brown, is keeping any shower and thunderstorm activity at bay. So we don't expect anything coming up tomorrow, as you can see. Now this is at 10,000 feet. There's obviously going to be moisture at the ground level where you feel, but we obviously with high dew points and moisture, we feel that on the ground. But as you go up in the atmosphere at around 10,000 feet, this is going to stifle any shower and thunderstorm activity in clouds. So very limited cloud cover tomorrow. We'll call it mostly sunny to partly cloudy. And that's certainly going to be the case coming up on Wednesday. Things begin to change, though, as we work on in to say, Wednesday, as moisture will begin moving in from the east. This is way up the scale. As you can see, look at the oranges and reds. That is tropical moisture moving on in. And the pattern, you can see the outline of the high. This is the area of high pressure, North Texas, is kind of an inverted trough. This is an inverted trough. That's what we've drawn here. And the high extends back over towards the mid-Atlantic, I should say. Some upper level disturbances, moisture, inverted trough. This all leads us to believe that it looks like a pretty good chance of rain, thunder showers as we work on into, say, Thursday and Friday of next week. Don't think this is going to be tropical because there's going to be a lot of shear. I was just looking at it earlier. There's some shear values of 25 to almost 30 miles an hour in the upper levels of the atmosphere. That's not real conducive to producing a tropical system. We'll watch it. One thing that we'll be watching is also the rain that'll be moving in. And this is looking like a repeat performance to last week with less of a chance of any tropical development. Regardless, it does look like 1, maybe 2 inches of rainfall coming up Thursday and Friday, through Friday at least, across our area. So then the moisture gets shunted off to the north, then the high kind of reconfigures itself, then we get a more northeasterly wind. So as the moisture moved away, it's then recirculated back into our area as we go on into Monday. So late Monday, because the flow is going to be out of the east and northeast, we may see some thunderstorm activity with temperatures in the low to mid 90s on next Monday. Some of these storms could move on in from the east out of Louisiana. That's certainly a possibility. So on the Gulf tomorrow, looking at slightly choppy seas around 2 feet in your coastal marine forecast. We'll see south winds at 5 to 10 knots, water temperature 92 degrees. Our forecast tonight, mostly clear, light south winds becoming calm, mid 70s lakes, mid to upper 70s and lower 80s in the triangle. Obviously much warmer over towards Port Arthur. Tomorrow's outdoor forecast, rain chances, nada. We'll go with 93 to 97 for highs coming up tomorrow. Heat indices, 105 to 108 across the area, and the UV index will be 11.2. So that means if you're fair-skinned like me, you can burn in as little as 15 to 20 minutes. So make sure you use the sunscreen. We'll see light south winds at 2 to 7 miles an hour. Tomorrow, partly cloudy skies are expected, and highs mainly in the mid-90s from I-10 northwards up into the lakes area with south winds. Otherwise, looking at heat indices, certainly around 105. Maybe hotter in spots, which is nothing out of the abnormal. We get this happens. So Tuesday, Wednesday looks hot. This time of year, we should be around 93. Oh my goodness, we're 2 to 3 degrees above normal coming up Tuesday and Wednesday. 20% coverage coming up on Thursday. And at this point, it seems reasonable to go with 60% coverage coming up Friday and Saturday. I don't expect wall-to-wall rainfall coming up Friday and Saturday. It's on again, off again. It's a pretty good coverage, but there's going to be breaks. Highs mid to upper 80s across the area. Now again, I'll show you the European, and I like the European because it's a pretty good model. Not perfect, no model is. It was too wet this last round with this last similar system that moved through our area last week, and it's showing ½ an inch to an inch. So 1, maybe 2 inches across the area, certainly not 2 to 4 inches. And then rain chances start going down as we head towards Sunday and Monday of next week. And it looks like we may have to pay attention over towards our east, towards Louisiana. As I showed you, that circulation might bring in shower and thunderstorm activity around the bottom of that high towards our area out of Louisiana. And that is your look at your southeast Texas forecast. Again, we'll just review once again. Hot, humid, and dry coming up the next couple days. Wet weather expected Friday and Saturday. Then scattered showers and storms. It'll be lower chances coming up as we work on into, say, Monday and Tuesday of next week. Again, I don't expect any rain. I don't care what the modeling says. I think it's too hot, and it looks like it's got showers in the. I just don't see that happening. Same thing with for tomorrow in the lakes area. I like 97, no rain. We're going to discount those rain chances. I'm not going to go with that, and I think it's too cool on highs up in the lakes area. So otherwise, as we were showing you earlier, it looks like a pretty good amount of moisture moving into the area in the atmosphere Friday especially. So that's when we're going to go with pretty good coverage Friday. And because the winds are going to be more in the upper and mid levels out of the southeast off the Gulf, that's when we think we'll also have a pretty good coverage coming up on Saturday. The moisture moves out on Sunday into Monday, so we'll keep near normal coverages because there will be no capping. We'll see partly sunny skies both Sunday and Monday. Quite a bit of instability, no capping, sea breeze. Yeah, 30% coverage seems reasonable Sunday and Monday. Pretty quiet out there now on the Pro Roofing Concepts satellite and radar loop as temperatures around 90 in the triangle, lower 90s up in the lakes area under mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. Pretty quiet across our neck of the woods. You can see as high pressure is in control of our area's weather. And we don't expect any problems out of 94L, way out there. Hurricane Center probably will drop this as it moves into very unfavorable conditions because of shear in the eastern Caribbean, so no problems there. And as you can see tonight, looking at temperatures dropping into the middle 70s lakes, middle 70s to lower 80s triangle. Then tomorrow, expect high temperatures under mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies into the mid 90s once again, which is just a few degrees above normal. Dry air over us now at 10,000 feet, dry air over us over our area tomorrow, and dry air over us on, say, Wednesday. So no rain expected. We expect upper level disturbance, quite a bit of moisture to bring us rain in our forecast, rain and thunder showers coming up as we head towards Friday and Saturday across southeast Texas. So that's what we're going with. Otherwise, our forecast for tonight, looking at mostly clear skies, south winds off the Gulf becoming calm, mid-70s lakes. Yeah, I'm thankful to Mr. Carrier for inventing air conditioning, mid to upper 70s and lower 80s here in the triangle. Then tomorrow, the outdoor